So what's your podcast about?
Okay, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. Not like it.
It's like amplified
Is my mic
drama.
Okay. Well then, let's go. Talk a little bit right before that song ends, and we're good to go. Hey, how you guys doing? My name is John Jeremy, and this is the Quiet Coyote Podcast. Ow! Yes. All right, guys, we're back for another episode, and we have no Angel here. I don't know where Angel is. Let's put out, something out there saying, in search of Angel, where's Angel? I have no idea. But we have someone else here. We have my buddy Jimmy, who's coming on the podcast.
How are you? I'm Jimmy.
Yo, what
John,
up,
thank
Jimmy?
you for having me, man.
Yo, thanks for coming on, man.
Long time listener, first time caller.
I know, right? First time, long time.
Yo.
No, I'm really glad to have you on the podcast. Is this odd or strange or not really?
A little bit feels different, but I love being up here. I love being able to talk. I like I said, I'm a listener, and I'm interested to see where this is going to go today. You know what I mean?
I'm interested too. When I listen to podcasts, I really like certain podcasts. Yeah, I don't listen to a lot. I just listen to the major ones. Like I listen. Like it depends. Like Joe Rogan, I'll step in and listen to some of his stuff. I really like Theo Von's stuff.
Theo Von's great.
Bad Friends. And,
Bad Friends is funny.
This guy MC Chris, who used to be a nerdcore rapper, and
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's like 50 now, and he started a podcast because he used to be the voice of I want to say it's the name of the character was MC P Pants that was on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he made friends with the guy who played Master Shake on that show, and they got together and just did a few episodes, and I couldn't stop listening.
Yeah, I like, there's Stavros, he's a comedian. He'll have, other comedians on. I think he's in Astoria.
Really? I think I know him.
He's a real funny guy,
Yeah.
So, I'm a big fan of podcasts.
No, it's awesome. I do love it. I love listening to them a lot. Mostly probably at the gym.
Yeah.
I go on the treadmill.
Sauna, you go on the treadmill, you relax on the sauna, throw a podcast on.
Yeah. You got to throw one of them on. Start listening. That's awesome, man. All right, great. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've been listening because I've been wondering who are all these people that are listening. I get notifications and people saying, it's really great. The fact that we just throw it out there and it actually helps people, people have been saying.
100%.
And you were talking right now about how your fiance was helped.
Yep.
By one episode that Chris was in.
Yeah, immediately sent it to her, and
that's really awesome. I'm really glad. We also have his fiance in the studio checking in, making sure she has her back, right? She's going to make sure check some stuff. Excellent. I love that. Great. Before when we were talking before the podcast, I was saying how I was a little bit tired and I'm emotionally tired for many reasons. Right. I just finished watching Stranger Things. That whole series ended, so I have the post-series depression going on. And then at the same time, I heard one of my buddies passed away. And January is rough for me because both of my parents died in January, so I have that anniversary.
Me too. January 19th, my father's going to be gone.
Oh, really?
22 years. January 19th, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My father passed away January 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right around the time. So always at this time, especially the night my father died, I remember it was a snowstorm. It was Martin Luther King Day, and anytime in January when it's really cold or the snow's on the ground, it's a rough month. I know the holidays and the winter is rough for a lot of people, but I always equate January to this is a bad time.
Yeah, all those feelings come up, and I didn't even really think about it for a long time because when I first came into recovery, I've heard about the anniversary effect,
right.
And then I slowly forgot about it. But anytime there's a post-traumatic event that happens in someone's life, when it comes to the anniversary, the annual anniversary, the brain starts to release chemicals, and they call it anniversary effect. So even whether I'm aware or we're aware of it or not,
absolutely,
the chemicals and all these things start coming off,
Absolutely.
and I'm like wondering, why do I feel like
Yeah,
weird?
why do I feel off? And then like you realize, it's
Oh,
that.
wait a minute, now I remember. Yeah, no, but definitely been feeling down, and yeah, so I just been feeling kind of low right now lately. But I'm glad that you came on
Thank you.
during this time and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your father. That's crazy that he passed away around almost the same time
Yeah,
as my dad.
January 19th. He was a hardworking guy. He was like really a great guy, but like he had, what we have, and
Yeah,
he never drank in front of me, never did whatever in front of me. But like when he would come home from work, you would know like there's something going on with this guy. And eventually, my mother had asked him to leave, and he was out of the house for like 3 years, and we hadn't heard from him for like a week or whatnot.
yeah,
And next thing we know, like my aunt, my uncle, like people like they weren't really, we didn't really associate with that side of the family really. So like
yeah.
seeing them like coming up my walkway, like we knew there was something wrong. And my father's girlfriend found him dead in bed, and it was from alcohol and Valium.
Yeah, man, that's so rough.
The guy seemed to have like everything all together. He had the house, he had the money, whatever it was, but like he just, as we all do, we put on this facade that everything's okay, and like eventually, like if everything's not okay, it's gonna come out, and like my dad was like a superhero to me, and
Yeah.
like just the one thing, like way too much to handle,
Yeah, no, I feel you too. My dad was too. That's why it was such a major hit for me. Like after that, like my whole life changed. Like it was a different world. Like
Right.
a world where this person is no longer here, and like
Yeah.
now I have to be able to learn and navigate. Like I have no choice.
Right.
Like my
How
friend.
old are you when your father?
No, this happened in 2017.
Oh, so pretty recent.
Yeah. This happened in 2017, and my mom passed away in 2022, and I was sober for both of those.
You're right. Oh,
And
imagine. I couldn't imagine.
it's so weird because when used to go to meetings, it was funny because I would go to the meetings, and this guy who was like, I didn't know he was like I didn't know like what he did for a living. Like I was getting him like I just became friends with this big tall guy, and like I would remember getting him like books and stuff and buying him certain like recovery books and just being really cool. It turned out he was like the chief of police for one of the precincts locally, and I was like, whoa, I was like, that's funny. I was like, because I'm a felon, so I just that's what I love about like not knowing much about the person other than that they're trying to get clean and sober. But I remember when my father passed away, and he shared about his dad passing away, and he said that he was like 16 or something when his father passed away. So I felt like it made me feel better. I don't know if that's messed up to say, but like I just felt better that I had my whole life to spend with him. I was like, he didn't have him
Right.
for his whole life. Even though it happened more recent, I had more time.
I feel like it doesn't even matter like how old you are when it's sure when you're younger it definitely sucks, but like losing a parent, like that's like the first person like you love, that's the first person and it you never, there's nothing you can say, there's nothing you can do, like you're never gonna feel the same, you know what I mean? And like where I'm at is like like I've been alive longer without my father than like the time spent with my father, like I was 13, 14 years old, and like I remember him, but at the same token like it's kind of fading,
Yeah.
The older I get. But yeah,
like
man.
your memories?
Yeah.
Like what you can remember?
We used to, my father lived, I grew up in Glen Cove. He grew up
Yeah.
in Glen Cove. When my parents got divorced, he moved to Bayville. And our thing was on the weekends, we would go fishing in the summer, or we'd go to Broadway Multiplex and go see a movie.
Oh,
On
wow.
Saturday. Yeah. He
That's
was
so cool.
He was in my life. When they were divorced, he made sure, like, every weekend, like, he was there, and then this is a guy with a monkey on his back, but like, he made sure he was there for his kids,
Yeah.
And
good guy.
yeah, and
He loved you. I could tell.
100%, yeah.
And my dad was the same way. My parents got divorced when I was 6, and my dad was just there.
Right.
He loved me. He just there, always
Yep.
doing that stuff,
Yep.
picking me up, doing all that stuff. He was like I would be a daddy's boy. My mom was not there
Right.
for me. She couldn't be mentally, I don't believe, but My dad. That's what I
It
was
gets, and especially like when I was younger, like after my dad passed, like probably around the time like my own like shenanigans started, like my mother all of a sudden like went from like a stay at home mom to like, she had three jobs, and like I had all the time in the world, and I was young and I was rebellious, and like what do you do at that time? Like you find the people just like you, and like you guys have a
Yeah.
competition to like who can ruin their lives quicker,
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
exactly what happened to me.
Who's more suicidal?
Yeah, yeah. Who's sadder? Yeah.
You know, it's funny. You said something that made me think of this comedian. I don't know who she was. She was some random comedian, and she had said that when her mom had passed away, she remembers like helping her mom at the hospital and things like that, and like she was building up to the joke, but at the end of it, she said something like really, I don't know, it really hit me. She's like, it doesn't matter how old you are when you lose a parent. She's like, because at that moment, that's when you realize you're just a kid. And like
Yeah.
she was older,
Yeah,
so
like
it's like, even, I can imagine, even if you were like 15, you lost your parent, like then you realized at that moment, you just become a kid
Yep,
at that moment. Like you're just
100%.
like, oh man.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt too. So
Right.
I, I completely identify with that part. How do you feel you coped with that? Was that drinking and drugs that was a major part
That
of
came
it?
soon
Or?
after. Like, my mother tried to like, like put me in therapy and
Yeah,
stuff like
therapy.
that. And it's like you only get what you put in therapy, and like 13, 14-year-old kid, you're not really putting in much. Like you think it's stupid, da, da, da.
Yeah, you don't even know
So
what's happening.
yeah, I gravitated towards like, the people who had the same mindset as me, just like and just like after losing my father, like I said, like nothing really mattered to me.
Yeah.
I was drinking and doing everything else like a short time after. Like this same thing that killed my father somehow is like helping me cope through it.
Yeah.
Insane, insane,
Yeah.
bro. Like and I remember like people, my family members being like, "Yo, Jimmy, like, alcohol's not for you," like, but never really explaining why,
Yeah.
And it's just like, like, all right, f you, I'm gonna do what I want to do,
Yeah.
and like I, and like from the very first go around, like with me drinking, like it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible, and like the irony of it was like I was scared, I was scared, and it was like me and my boys, we got a bottle, we went up to the schoolyard, Connolly
Mm.
School. That's like where things happened where I live, Connolly School. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You made
yeah,
it, and yo, we drank, and my buddy ended up getting his stomach pumped, but like. It should have been like, like, all right, slow down, but no, that's not what we did.
yeah. No, of course not. It's just being a kid. Like I don't even think of like my mortality or like that.
No.
I'm not gonna make it home that night. Or
That was the funniest thing for me about getting sober.
Mhm.
Like all of a sudden, I'm like looking at fish oil and vitamin D. Like, am
Yeah.
I taking too much? Is this too much? Like, is this enough? And like the things I would put in my body, like
That's funny you mentioned that. My doctor just said my doctor calls. I'm in the movie theaters and it's like close to 10 at night, and he just is just like he leaves a message. I didn't even know it was him. Just some random number. I sent it to voicemail. And he starts saying that he's like because it transcribes your messages.
Mhm.
So it starts saying, hey, your vitamin D is through the roof. Like, are you taking supplements? Like, you got to stop immediately. And I'm just like freaking
That's
out. Like he's
crazy,
he's
bro.
leaving, and then the next day I call him, and he's like, "Oh no, just stop taking. If you're taking supplements, stop." Because, but like you said, like
It's so funny. We start caring. Like
We start to
like,
care.
did I take too much Tylenol? Is it like,
Mhm.
what?
my Tylenol, yeah, it's like, how's my tolerance? How's my Tylenol tolerance? But no, it is true. I don't think. I don't think, at least for me, being young when I was getting messed up, I didn't have the mind capacity to even understand what was happening.
Right.
I think it's kind of why, like, sometimes in recovery they suggest about like certain things, like relationships or like any type of major changes, like jobs and stuff, because maybe just I'm not understanding yet, like
Right.
what's happening in life, severity of my
100%.
addiction. I'm a little vulnerable, so like
Yep.
I can't really tell left from right, and I think that I'm making the right decision. So as a kid, forget it,
Right.
man.
That's the tough thing in sobriety too. Like navigating the relationships, thinking that I'm making the right choice, thinking that like like I know what's best for myself, when the fact of the matter is like I'm just pulling myself out of this hole that I've been in for the past 10 years, and I don't really know how to think right now, and it's all distorted and like, oh, this person's giving me attention, I'm feeling good about myself, this is great. And then a year later, it's like, oh God, what did I get myself into? You know what I mean? And
I've been there. I've been in a lot of these situations of trying to navigate what is like who I am, let alone who I am in these circumstances that I'm
right,
like,
and who I want to be in these circumstances, and you end up in these circumstances
yeah,
that like you're
circumstance.
just
You're like, my circumstances put me in some circumstances.
Yeah, 100%. And I always my friends, in program and everything, like I always tell them like, there's like, yes, there's the steps help tremendously.
Yeah.
But there's certain situations where it's just like you got to have your own experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it, like that's the only way you grow through it. Because when I first came in, everybody was telling me like, "Yo, no relationships, no relationships." And what do? Like like you don't have the drugs anymore. You don't have the alcohol anymore. Mm-hmm. What do? You look for validation through the opposite sex or whatever the case may be.
Or maybe have an addiction for relationship, sex, or romance.
Yeah,
people.
See, my thing, I know I need to feel wanted. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I know that I need to feel important to people.
Yeah.
And that's just,
That makes sense, though, if you think about it, because, like, with a lot of, like, step work, for example, in every 12-step program, they're all the same steps. So, like, when you do an inventory, it's all about security. So it's like, 100%. I want to feel wanted because that gives me the security that I feel that I need. So dude, that's like a natural.
And it's like comes out in such little things. Like, dude, if we went to go get coffee right now, I'm paying. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like what, like why? Like why can't you allow somebody to do something nice for you?
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's still like like coming up on 7 years in, there's still like real quirky things about me.
No, I feel like that's when you start to shake it out. It takes a while. It's like
I thought I'd be a lot better by now. I thought it'd be a lot better by now.
Oh no, I feel like I'm drying out even more. I felt like I tell people I feel more crazier the more time I have. And my friends,
100%, because I have no excuses. Like, like
Chris episode, like, she has 24 years, and she'll tell you, like,
Great episode.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm glad that she's coming on a third time, that while we're recording this, it'll come out
awesome
before this. But, she's the type of person that's, like, she's accepting of, like, I think that's what recovery does. The 12 steps will help me to just accept things for more. Like, accept me for being creepy and being generous, being kind of an a-hole, kind of sweet, being a full person, the whole gambit of things where I don't have to hide. I don't even know that I was hiding these things.
100%. That the best part about for me getting sober was like finding out who I was, because I always had that mask on, and like finding out who I was and being okay with who I was.
Yes,
liking myself.
Yep.
And I don't like myself every day, but for the most part, like I know I try, and at this point in like my recovery, I know that that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it gets better, because that's when we start to spread our wings more. Yep. At least for me, like I start to feel more comfortable of like, that's why I started the podcast, so I could feel more comfortable sharing, have it recorded. I can look back at it. I can hear myself. I can hear my growth maybe by the 100th episode versus the 30th. Like how much I was holding back and how much I was like, John, just speak, just talk. Like, nobody cares. Like, I'm not, like, none of us are going to get out alive. We're all this is it. This is it. We are here. Who I am is who I am. And I didn't know it, like, in my earlier years. Like, I'm starting to accept who I am more, as far as, like, things that I would cringe at and be like, oh, that's kind of cringy, or, like, I don't want to be that way. And that's cool, because that I can work on that and start to, like, slowly, incorporate it, or not. That's another option, which a lot of people didn't know. Like you said, I don't tell people with relationships if they're coming in, if I'm like sponsoring somebody, they're like, I heard that you shouldn't be in a relationship. I'm like, look, all I know is that how I got sober with this,
Right.
and it changed my life. I said, I would say, why don't you try doing this, what I did,
Mm.
and see how it affects your life, because your mind may change and your choices may be better.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
I said whether you should get married, take that job, buy that house, that is something that I'm not God. Like, I can't
Right.
tell another person what they should or shouldn't do. I'm not qualified for that. All I
No.
know is that if I don't drink and I don't die, that everything is fixable.
Yep.
Like we were talking about our parents, like living in a world where like I can't text my dad. That was the hardest thing.
Mm.
I used to go to the gym all the time, and then after the gym, all the dopamine, all the chemicals are going on in my brain. I'd call my dad. It was really nice, and I had to like relearn. I called my older sister, who I never called when I got some good news, and I said I don't know who to call, because like I used to call dad,
Yep.
and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm really happy that you called me," and I'm like, "Yeah, but like I said,
It's funny that like you bring that up. Like we were talking before about our mutual friend, Justin,
yeah,
and that's when I feel it the most with him. Like we used to like when I have like a major life thing, like he would be like one of the guys I would call. But it even comes up like when I'm on, I'm doom scrolling on Instagram and I see something funny. I'm like, oh, I want to,
send it.
I want to send him this meme, and then like all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're like, oh fuck, you know what
Is
I mean?
he still on your social media? Like,
100%,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Isn't that weird? Like
Yeah.
sometimes when I go to like invite people to stuff or something, I have to scroll through the people that like
Mm.
aren't there anymore.
Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. You know, even like after him being gone, like that, brought us together.
Yeah,
I seen you that night, and I was like, wait a minute, are you? And connected, and that was just like the type of guy he was. You know what I mean?
and he was a great musician.
Uh, Amazing. I remember
He's
being in high
great.
school and hearing him rap, and I'm like, oh, damn, rock him, like what I
Yeah.
mean, like just insane, and like one of the nicest guys like you ever want to meet,
Yeah,
and I think it all, talking about losses today, losses came up, and it's that time of year for him too. I think it's coming up on 2-3 years, and it doesn't feel real. Like I feel like I'm gonna run into this guy at the gas station or something. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's like you just haven't talked to him in a while, that he's not really
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
like here and every. I remember when he was welcoming when I went to his house. The night I went to his house, and like it's just fun, and like seeing him like just rap, like we were recording and doing, and I can't find our
intense.
music. I feel really upset about
I'll see
that.
if I can find something.
Because
could
I
probably
was
muster
on
something
that
up.
project. I felt like he
I
did a
remember
Christmas
you guys had a big project. Yes. Yeah.
And like it's cool though, like especially if we lose musician friends. Like I said, my
the
buddy,
music lives on.
the music is there. I
Yep.
can hear their voice. I
Yep.
could like it was really cool.
We got a song where he's like, "Yo, Jimmy, you ready?" And it's just like as crazy as it sounds, like, "Yo, Jimmy," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Justin. You know what I mean? Yeah, great guy.
I think the losses make life and make this moment much more important.
100%, dude. He was one of my biggest supporters with like changing my life around. Like that dude saw me suffer, and I remember like around the first year we had a barbecue, and my buddy's wife asked me to grab her a White Claw, and I'm walking through the party with a White Claw, and he's, yo, no. I'm like, nah, it's not for me, bro. Just like, just his approach, like it wouldn't be
That is
overbearing,
so-
but he'd be like, yo, you should probably think about this,
Yeah.
Definitely a guy I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Never forget.
That's so funny, and the fact that he was looking out for you.
100%. That's all. It was like a brother dynamic. His brother Jules was one of my best friends growing up, and like I was always at the Lee's house. They were always at my house. We had built a studio after my father passed away. I came into some money, so I bought like at the time it was like the M box, and I got like
I
this
had the
MacBook. Yo, I built a booth in my bedroom, and like we
Yeah.
just made music, man. We like
That's
we
so
just
cool.
a lot of good memories, just like sitting in that room, and it shut the air conditioner off so it doesn't get picked up on the mic, just sweating, and like a lot of good memories.
You have to tell. All right, everybody, shh. I'm gonna record.
Yup,
All right. All right, ready? Yeah, let's go. and then you just see them rap. You see everybody just rapping.
Yeah, I used to love it, man.
Yeah.
I still do. You get a rush when you hear like your song finished and you like it's
Yeah.
good. Yo, she'll tell you. I listened to stuff from 20 years ago. I'm like, yo, you hear that?
You know, it's cool because like when I listen to old songs, I could also, if I remember where I was, like it'll bring me back. Like people hear a song or like a video or podcast or whatever, the art. But I can remember like where I was in the room, you know, where I was during this.
Yeah,
this
brings you right back, 100%. There's so many like reference points that I have like through music, you know, and like another way to like, you know, like measure my growth, you know, like what I'm talking about compared to like what I'm talking about now compared to what I will be talking about. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. To hear something from me like 20 years ago, hear something from me 10 years ago. Totally different person than like the guy you're getting here right now on the podcast. You know what I mean?
No, dude. Especially with music, especially with hip hop music. I was at the meeting over here yesterday night, and my friend Allie, who was on the show, she's 20, and she was. We were talking, and and then I came out with the music stuff, and she goes, "Oh, I don't think I ever heard your music." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got too much music." I was like, "It's probably all antiquated by now." Because
you got a lot.
Because I came out with like I would do like 17 track albums, and I was just dropping so much albums, and like at this point now I just drop singles because it's
that seems to be like where it's at.
It's better.
There's no such thing as a mixtape anymore.
If I drop an album, it'll get lost in the sauce unless you know even the major artists drop albums.
All they do is they drop 2-minute songs. Yeah,
that's what it is.
You know, it's I guess the attention span, whatever it is, like the really.
And the songs are different. I'm still trying to find a lot. There's some musicians that have, you know, the stylistic of it is.
There's a lot of songs coming out lately that have a lot of emotion in it, and then there's a lot of songs coming out lately that are just like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It's pretty interesting because, like they say, like history repeats itself, and like what I'm hearing a lot, and like what Spotify new for me. It's like like all these like emo type of like rappers or like emo music, which is like I feel like is huge right now. You know.
Yeah.
There's a band I found, King Princess. I really like.
Really? I never heard of
They're pretty good. It's like a chick singing, I think, and like
really.
Yeah,
I gotta hear that.
I know it's like cool. It's different. It's stuff like I don't know. I'm really enjoying like the type of music that's coming out right now.
Is it different or is it like familiar? Is it like an old style?
It's a little bit of both. You know, it's familiar in like like they got these like I guess like pop punk like whatever. But like it's new. It's like this generation. You know what I mean? Like, So I like it. I'm enjoying it. I really enjoyed like the Brooklyn drill. The Brooklyn drill rappers.
I was like in the UK drill.
They were good too. That's what got me into
their accent. They'd be like. Pop, pop. Whatever they say.
Dude, they say some crazy things.
And I'm calling to get you when
it's like,
I'm like,
God.
Whoa,
you better
all
listen.
right, Nigel. Man, I'm about to get stabbed. I'm about to get freaking. That's funny though.
A lot of good stuff coming out. I feel like. Because for a while, I mean, I felt like there was like no emotion, nothing like coming out, and like like what's the point of music? You know what I mean? Like there should be something behind it. Like a good song you're gonna feel. You know what I mean? You're gonna want to play it when you're sad. You know what I mean? You're gonna want to like. So I
think if the song for me, it just has to have emotion because like it just has to be authentic emotion. Like and you got me. Like. Some of my friends that I know, they rap a lot of words and they're great. I love them, but it's just like, it's just too much intellect and not enough emotion. And then some people are like they're just saying whatever they want, just bland after a while.
Which is a lot of people.
Which is just, So for me, it's the balance. I want to hear, if someone is just saying one word over and over again, but it's like a meaningful thing, like they can make it hot.
100%.
I've heard 100% people make it hot.
Half the battle is like making somebody relate.
Yeah, that's it.
You make somebody relate, you got a fan.
Yes. Yeah, and that's why, like for me, I've gone to like, I grew up hip hop. I love hip hop. I still do hip hop, but I'm more into like I'm doing just whatever I like. So now I'm more like a multi-genre artist now.
100%. I love that too. Like I love that. I definitely was like a hip hop head growing up. I had a lot of classic rock influence from like my father. I had a lot of like like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that from my grandmother. And
Yeah.
like I just I listen to it all. You know what I mean? Like people have one expectation and then get into my car and they're like, Grateful Dead,
Yeah.
Jerry, like like and that's just I love music. I think it's like one of the most beautiful things we have in life.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And you could tell a lot by the ability for someone to like how much they love music and what it is, like how they can have an imagination. Like I literally was asked before I had to write a rap for we're doing something tomorrow at the church, and the pastor said, "Hey, can you write some bars to this song? A song I like a lot." And I was like, "Yo, yeah." So I wrote something yesterday. I went today. I was listened to it again. I was like, it just doesn't fit. I was like, I had to record again. So I literally last minute just had to write.
What's your writing
more
process
emotional.
like? What do you usually?
Oh, my writing process is this. You just I have to have the beat on and have to have a mic on now. Before it was I had to write it.
Right.
Now it's more of like I hear the
you
beat
record it
and I'm listening, and then I'm just like, and then whatever I'm feeling comes off the top, and then like that'll grow. Like I never thought I would ever be at that level of like I write it in my head. Like I've always heard like Biggie and all these Jay-Z and all these great
all the
people
greats,
wrote it in their heads,
yeah.
and I was like, I'm never gonna be like that. But the same thing when I came into recovery, my sponsor was quoting all this stuff, and I was like, I'm never gonna be like you. I'm never gonna know that. And that was like I quote stuff.
Now, what do you think?
Thing.
Has your music gotten better since you've gotten sober? Or?
I think way better.
100%.
I
right?
think less. I think less about it.
Yes.
It's not about the multi. See what happened was like when like people took a lot of like Eminem stuff. They took Eminem and they studied the mathematics of Eminem. Like a lot of my friends, they studied the multi-syllable bars, right? Just like Big Daddy Kane and all these people.
Yes.
But what they didn't factor in was what he was saying and what he was saying was more important than the multi-syllable. So people just wanted to rap.
Yeah, people want to do that.
They wanted to rap door hinge and orange, which is fine.
Right.
Like Eminem said it, but you didn't hear what he was saying. He was also saying like, I'm going to kill my mom and then I'm going to take drugs and I'll drag you. He goes, I'll kill you, then kill myself. Like he rapped it. So like his content was insane. It wasn't just the style he chose. It was his content. That's why his clones won't match him.
Yeah, there's so many. So
that's why. Like, and a lot of people compare me to Eminem, and I try to stray away from that because, like, I'm like, but I don't say anything that he says. But like, I get it. They say I sound like him, but like what I'm saying is completely
right. It's different. No, it's different. I think
Yeah.
it's different. I mean, but that's a great comparison, though. You know what I mean? To be compared to like Eminem, that's like who's your top three?
Oh, for me, it would probably be, it was Nas. Nas, it was written, It Was Written was the second album, and that was what got me into writing, because I remember opening the CD case, pulling it out, and all his lyrics were written, and they wrote it like, and I was
yes,
like, wow,
I remember that when all the lyrics were out on the CD
so I was
case.
like, that was the first time I saw it, and I know that Nas got me rapping, so I would rap like Nas, and then, forget it, that was like a point of like, Nas was just coming out 96, 97, and then Big Pun was also entering the game. But then Eminem was always around, but he didn't really start coming out. His album dropped in 99. So from 96 to 99.
Where lyrics were still like...
You had a bunch of heavy hitters coming out. Everyone was like...
Big Pun, like some of like what he said is just like...
Yeah,
I'll try to rap along. No, I can't do it. Like he's definitely
my tongue can't do that.
Nah, he was insane. He was on another level. What about you know who slept on a lot?
Who?
Mace.
No, Mace is great.
Mace is
Murder Mace.
When he was Murder Mace, like Children of the Corn Mace.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to his old song, like he could really he could rap. I don't think he gets enough like.
Mace and Cameron have a podcast.
I love it. Yeah.
And they wear suits.
They're
and it's
hilarious,
so funny.
Bro.
And then like literally a few weeks ago, I saw Cameron in his suit at the podcast, but he was rapping. And
yes, I saw that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, dude, amazing. Cameron's another one.
I was like, he got
rap.
better.
He could really rap.
Like that rap was better. Not that he wasn't good back then, but I'm saying, I'm like, wow. Like, really, he got better with it.
Cameron Cameron's great. The Dipset mixtapes, the G Unit Radio mixtapes. That was a great time.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great time.
Well, I like Jadakiss.
Oh,
So
Jadakiss,
is
yeah,
up there for me,
100%. He's
you
just
know?
like he's goated at this point. You know what I mean? Everybody loves Jada, but he never was like a Jay-Z or something like that. But everybody loves Jada. I've never met somebody who was like, no,
No,
not really for me.
he's amazing. For me, it would probably be like Nas, Biggie, and Eminem in no order. That's my top three. How about you?
I'm gonna have to say Nas, Big Pun, and Jay-Z. I think. You know, like I remember like listening to like Ether and like the Takeover and being like, "Yo, Nas got him." But the older I got, I listened to Takeover. I'm like, I don't know, this is close.
know.
Yeah, this is close.
No, because I have to say that like I did like MGK's Rap Devil when it came out. I was like, that was the closest diss
named after a
that
handgun
anybody.
with a man bun.
He flipped it. He flipped the name. He said Rap God. He's like, I'm the Rap Devil. Like the whole flip was clever. The rhymes were clever. He can't. I mean, I'm an Eminem fan, but I have to give props to the people that are due. Like if like it was.
I don't know. I think M got him on that.
And then the second when he came back,
yeah. He named after a handgun.
He
with
didn't
a man
have
bun.
to.
Like so simple, but it was no.
He didn't have to come after that.
That was, if anything, that was M. Like
the song before it that he
mentioned.
mentioned MGK, he killed it in so many ways. I forgot the name of the song, but that's what made MGK do that song because he did a song.
Yeah, he mentioned him, right?
Where he mentioned him and just killed him in like a million different styles, and that's where it comes off. Where it's kind of like, well, I do have to say that for me, when it comes to like Eminem and Mace and people like that, like, see, what makes a great MC, I did a whole like video on like YouTube about it. I was just walking, I started recording, and I was like, why I think M for me would probably be the greatest MC for me would be because to this day he's one of the only MCs that no matter whether you like him or you think he's corny, you kind of need to hear that song. You want to hear his verse.
Right.
The fact that you want to hear his verse, whether you like him or not, like that says a lot about. Because you don't know what he's going to say.
You hear Eminem's dropping something, you're gonna tune in.
So like if I heard Jay-Z featuring 50 Cent, I'm not dying to check it out. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't have to stop everything to check it out. So I think if it's like, you know, whatever, if it was Juice WRLD featuring M, people like, yo, I kind of gotta like, hold up, man. Like, I gotta kind of check this out now. Like it's a now.
And I think M had like respect for Juice WRLD or something.
Yeah, he did. Juice WRLD was an amazing freestyler, an insane freestyler.
Yeah, great music too. Like that's another thing. For some, I'm 36 years old and I can still like rock with Juice WRLD. You know what I mean? Like, I think a great MC, you gotta have that rewind that factor.
That too, playback. That's what I do when I write. I hear a song or when I do a song or a verse. That was one of my major focuses. Like, does this have replay value? I'm like, do I want to play it again? And I'm like, if I listen to something, it's just kind of it's good, but I throw it away. M does have a lot of verses in a song which doesn't hold replay value for me. Like I hear it, I'm like, you
hear it once is enough.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, do you have like a lot of throwaway tracks? Like, you know, tracks you've done and you just
I had a bunch of songs that I all put together in like maybe 2 years ago now 2 years ago for Thanksgiving that I said that these are all the songs that I was never gonna put out. Right. And I was like, whatever. So I just
people end up loving them.
But they were recorded, mixed, mastered, and I just
didn't put them.
Yeah, I was like, they weren't strong enough.
I think that's the hardest thing for an artist is like that that self whatever it is, like, you know, I don't. A lot of artists I feel like suffer with like the self-doubt, or is this as good as I think it is, or I don't think this is very good, and it ends up being great. You know, it's the stuff that you don't expect people to like. I feel like a lot of times, like, is what takes off.
That's like a personal choice for each artist. My music teacher, I told him that I would write entire songs and I'd throw them out. And he says, He's like, that's a good thing, you know. He says that's musical maturity. He said, he goes, not a lot of artists have that. He goes, because they had to put everything out. Everything
there was a
they
time where you needed like a new song like every day.
The
Lil Wayne put out like 40 songs in a month. It's like
Lil Wayne was another one. He was insane. He could go on and on.
I think the coolest thing about Lil Wayne is like I remember when he was like what was the group they had? Cash Money.
Oh, Cash Money. Yeah.
He was like the Hot Boys. Yeah, he was like 14,
Yeah.
and it's like you didn't think he was gonna be like
No.
what he is now.
No.
Like that's not like luck. That's like work. Like he was flipping these songs and he was saying crazy things, and
There was and we got to wrap it up, but like there was a thing going on, and let me get your thoughts on it. What do you think? Like there was a moment that it looked like it was gonna be like Lil Wayne kind of versus Kendrick because of some stuff that was happening. What do you think about?
I don't know. I wasn't too familiar with that.
Oh yeah.
But that would have been something to see. I like Kendrick a lot.
I like Kendrick too.
Not even that he's like the most lyrical, like rhyme or whatever the case may be. Like the way he says things and the way he puts songs together. Like his new album was ridiculous. Like, it was really good. That would have been something to see. Kendrick and Weezy. What?
I could rap probably a hard Lil Wayne song, but like seeing
Kendrick is hard,
I don't know how he does his wording. I was trying to do
some things
some
don't even make sense how they go together.
Like, the way he does it, it's almost like it's on beat, off beat. It's just really my brain can't compute it, so I have to say I would have to give it up to him.
He's one of the out of all the new guys. I mean, fairly new. He's been
like you said, it's not that it's lyrical, but the style of it is a little off and on. That it sounds good, but it's like hard to also like. I have trouble rapping his stuff because of the way he does it. Not that he's using these
and everything,
cannabis words or whatever. Poor Cannabis, that guy.
Oh man, he could rap.
He could rap. I've always wanted to do a song with him, and I think now, like, I can. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll figure something out. $850. Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I love how the conversation talk. I never get to talk about hip hop, so I'm
glad
that
dude.
Will you come back on and maybe talk more
man.
about some stuff, or like
100%?
That'd be so awesome, and I really appreciate you coming on. And we'll have you again back soon.
Sounds good, man.
All right, awesome. Thanks a lot, Jimmy. All right, y'all. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.
So what's your podcast about?
Okay, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. And I like it. Is my mic on? Okay. Well then, let's go.
Hey, everyone, look here. Quiet Coyote. Quiet Coyote.